Okay, good morning, everybody. Was messing around a little bit last night, and I was thinking a lot about the formula of just like how Icetill and Emrakul are just so crazy together. This is like the third or the fourth deck we've played with both of these cards, maybe even more than that. But it's like this is something we really okay. Hear me out. This deck is Brood Scale. This deck is the same formula as the Brood Scale deck. Where let me even just pull it up. This may look like Golgari mid range. This is Brood Scale. Um so instead of having like Flushraker, Brood Scale, Blade of the Blood Chief as this like early game plan where you have like this turn 3 infinite combo, and if that doesn't work you pivot into Mycospawn, Icetill, Emrakul. Instead, you swap out that Brood Scale game plan. Instead, you play a bunch of cheap interactive cards. We're playing Cling, we're playing a Dreams, we're playing 4 Fatal Push, 4 Thoughtseize, a Toxic Deluge, and 3 Vexing Baubles. So this is Brood Scale in the sense that you're just kind of you're swapping that early game combo for early game interaction, but it's the same formula of early game plan that is complemented really well with this Mycospawn, Icetill, Emrakul stuff. And when you think of the curve like this too, it's really not that different of a normal mid-range curve too. I guess probably put the K commands here, but it is slightly higher than your average like Golgari rock deck or whatever. But really the Emrakul plays the Emrakul and Icetill play so well together. Where you get so much mana from the Icetill and you fill up the yard so much that the Emrakuls just end up being so cheap that they're just so castable without you really having to dedicate your deck to playing Ugin's Labyrinth and Utopia Sprawl and like all of these extra ramp spells. You just kind of don't need them. You kind of just need to play like an Icetill, sometimes Mycospawn, sometimes K command. A lot of ways to ramp into it, but you don't need to be clunking up your deck in order to have this Icetill Emrakul plan. And if you still maintain this Icetill Emrakul plan, you're kind of free to play a lot of cheap interactive spells, which is something that I think is a pretty interesting formula. And like Icetill is a pretty interactive card with Ghost Quarter. Sometimes, like Ghost Quarter your own Bog, replay your Bog. Mycospawn's a really interactive card. K Command is a really interactive card. So this deck, Emrakul is like maybe the best win condition in Modern right now. Emrakul is just so nuts. It's just so good against every deck, really. But it's like you maintain all of these like really interactive elements from the Eldrazi deck while you get to unclunk and remove a lot of the air from the deck, a lot of the redundant 7 drops. You do lose Ugin's Labyrinth, which is tough, but you get to main the interactive stuff and then complement it with more interaction. And I guess I also want to say that this is also a little bit of a blend of like the Naya Icetill deck that we were playing, where I was really into being able to mill over Flage and escape Flage. I like that deck. I'd be interested in playing some more of it, but we kind of maintained that idea with the Cling to Dust. Being able to mill over Cling to Dust and fill the yard for it has been really nice. Cling is also really good. This deck also in a big way is kind of a metagame deck where we're trying to attack the metagame of Goryo's and of Boros and of Goryo's, Boros, Prowess, Brood Scale. There was one other deck I was really trying to focus on. I guess it's just the Blink decks in general being in on the Emrakul stuff, but like the Blink decks and the Goryo stuff really blends together. But in addition to just having a ton of main deck graveyard hate with the Cling to Dust and the K commands, and noticeably Cling and K command are really good graveyard hate against Goryos because they help you outgrind the Goryo's deck too, where the Goryo's deck is so good because it has like the Frog, it has the Riddler, they have infinite value. So when your graveyard hate is also value, it helps combat them. But we're also main decking Vexing Bauble. I've been boarding in Vexing Bauble like so much in any deck that I have it win, and I was looking at the deck. I'm like, oh, this actually stops nothing in the deck, which is even kind of rare these days. And I also really wanted to find an artifact so the Emrakuls could get a little cheaper. And I'm like, yeah, let's just main deck the Vexing Baubles. And all of a sudden, like Neoform, which is like maybe like this archetype's worst matchup, if you don't main deck 3 Vexing Baubles, actually becomes pretty fine, pretty even good, you might say, maybe dependent on if you draw this card, but that's like a really nice angle here. And so last night I played against, I believe it was Boros, Prowess, Goryos. I know it was 3 like different good metagame decks. It was definitely Prowess, Goryos. I think the third match was Energy, but I was just feeling good about the matchup spread. So also, the new mic stand came in, and it is really nice, and it's not squeaky. I can adjust it. A good upgrade for the stream. On the draw against a Verdant Catacombs. Let's get main deck Veil summered. This is a new league. We're in our second league here. Okay, so the Bauble will be really good against them. The Black Splash is interesting, probably for removal, and I guess they graveyard a frog because they can't cast it because of Besechu. So frog 2 in the deck. So I think I need to take the Ice Fang so that I can Fatal Push the Coiling Oracle and then get the Bauble down. Although maybe I should just take the Oculus. Yeah, I guess let's just take the Oculus because they're probably just going to play the Oracle instead of the Ice Fang anyways. Yeah, you should definitely be surveilling after the Thoughtseize. Okay, so I was wrong. I guess we'll just go ahead and make them Ice Fang and Flare. Yeah, we 4-1 the last league. Am I playing the challenge? I don't usually play the challenge on Wednesdays. I will play the one on Friday. Their hand is Oracle Dismember 3 mystery cards. Gonna try to save Fatal Push for Oculus or Frog here. Not gonna just fire it off. So they do have all spells in their hand. I think we half helped them by bidding the Oculus for them. I think you're overthinking it. I think the Oculus, like they would have had 5 cards in their hand here. Like right now, they would be a fetch land away from casting the Oculus. I don't think that they play Unearth, if that's what you're worried about. And if you're worried about this fueling a second Oculus, I think there's a little bit of a flaw in the logic, right? All right, so let's go ahead and Fatal Push the Frog, and then if they flare, we can untap and K command. Seems like I'm interested in letting this frog live for a turn so I can get my Icetill down. Okay, I could take a hit. Maybe I'm even gonna get to deluge some stuff. I think we're going to get the waste now, though. Oh, sorry. I don't know. I forgot about the stupid Dismember. The one thing I needed to remember here. Although we do fill up the yard a lot. Now we've got 5 types in the yard for Emrakul. And then this will be 6 types. Yeah, we should have just K-commanded. So another Oracle, revealing a Hedge Maze, which I just tapped. Makeshift with the 64 months. Thank you, welcome back. So long. They've got 1 card in their hand. I guess let's Deluge this turn. Paying 3 life. That last card is another counterspell. Not ideal. It's not, though. But likely the one of Deluge. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. So this is going to put the Kindred in the yard. We already have Sorcery. So this is going to be a 7 mana Emrakul. We have 6 mana right now. I'm just trying to think, should I be I think I should just take the Temple. I think probably not really that much to think about here. This is game 1, so we shouldn't be too worried about Consign. My hand is K command Emrakul. Let's take the Temple. Kind of telegraphed that I have it, but you know, good luck to them. So they've got an Oculus. So this very likely was their draw for turn. I doubt that they were playing around the Deluge last turn, which means it's very unlikely they have a counterspell for the Emrakul. Even less likely if they're going to surveil in response to the Oculus trigger, because most of their counter magic costs 3. Instead, they Endurance in response to the trigger. Well, I guess that was the best possible. Let's keep going. So I can Ghost Quarter myself for 1 type in the yard. The K command is technically neutral for the Emrakul if I make spawns. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it cost 12 effectively. So I think we just... I'm gonna exile the Oculus and Scry Draw. And I could do it like this, so I could play Icetill, Fatal Push, Rumble, or Mycospawn. I think this is better than making spawns, since I think we're so likely to just be able to cast the Emrakul next turn anyway, since it'll cost 10 and we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so let's go top. Get the 6 card out of their yard so they can't play another Mycospawn. Have the Llanowar Wastes ready to go next turn so we can hardcast the Emrakul. See what they got. Mid-range cast a 15 mana value as well. This is 13. Costs 7 mana most of the time. I know it's weird. I know it's weird to play the Emrakul. I know this deck feels a little bit like it breaks archetype norms. Would genuinely be interested if you feel like a different would you call this control? Would you call it? It's not really ramp necessarily. Genuinely interested what archetype y'all would classify this deck as. Like, we're a Thoughtseize Fatal Push deck too. Yeah, they said ops in the chat. Like, I think they meant to attack with the manifest. Yeah, Emrakul is just the best. It's just the best win condition in Modern at the moment. It's so easy to cast. It's so good with the Icetill. It's like, it just goes over the top of everything. There's very few good answers for it. Emrakul is so good right now. It got so much better with Icetill. I guess that's part of this deck's thesis. Okay, so we want the 4th Vexing Bauble. We want all the Veil of Summers. But I'm open to believing I've got the wrong deck name. I think I'm going to play the Cavern over the Bog. Bog can be good to slow down Oculuses, though. Maybe I'll cut a Ghost Quarter, since they play a lot of basics. I think that's fine. Am I interested in Culling Ritual? Culling Ritual kills the Birthing Ritual. It kills Frog. I think it's better against this build than maybe the more traditional versions. So kind of interested in these. I think I'm going to be okay cutting the Dreams. Sometimes they can have all non-creature spell hand. I think trimming the 3rd Cling is okay. I want to keep in all the pushes against this version. Might not do that against every version. I think I can cut the Deluge. Although Deluge was okay. Deluge is really bad if they have counter magic because you pay the life. Pay the life first. Could cut Rumble forward. Cutting Rumble is maybe a mistake. 3 more cuts, huh? Not going to be very easy. These are mandatory. I think the Thoughtseizes are mandatory. I think the Fatal Pushes are mandatory. Not mandatory. Could trim one of these. Could maybe cut the 3rd Ghost Quarter and play 24 lands on the draw. I think I'm on board for that. And then I need to cut 2 of these 4 cards probably. We are bringing in a lot of non-creature spells, so maybe cutting a Rumble because it could brick more often. We actually bricked on a Rumble earlier is fine. And then I think I'll go down 1 Icetill since this is more resilient to counter magic. It is kind of cheaper on the curve, right, because of Eldrazi Temple. So if we're bringing in the 4s, trimming a 4 makes some sense. How important is Vista to fetch waste? It's pretty important. It comes up pretty often. Often enough for me to be pretty interested in playing it. Okay, so I like that I could go Vexing Bauble plus Veil up on turn 2. Force of Vigor for Ritual. We got Culling Ritual Culling Ritual instead, so don't think it's all that necessary, probably. Wonder what this is about. Untapped Watery Grave. They're not playing Scour, are they? I don't know. I will say that I really want them to go like Ice Flang or Oracle plus Flare the Vexing Bauble next turn, so and then I can Veil it. So I don't want to play the Bauble turn 1. I guess Consign. They have Consign in their hand. So we're actually gonna go Vexing Bauble, they're gonna Consign, and then I'm gonna Veil. And then this will probably work. Could have a second Consign. So 2025 go Gary Midridge if you'll bait it. You have to play good cards, I'm sorry. I hate to break the news that in order to play this archetype in 2025, you have to play some good cards. There's no more. The formula, it turns out, is not to still play Tarmogoyf for Liliana of the Veil. I wish I had better news. Although we actually did lose to a Tarmogoyf deck last round, so what do I know? I think that's gonna let me keep this. Pretty borderline. You could play one Saga to tutor for. I'd probably play the first Saga over the fourth quarter. I think that could be good. Could be fine. Final verdict of the Carnage deck gets the slot of the challenge. I don't know if it's going to get the slot of the challenge. We have played now 3 leagues with Carnage. The deck is feeling like it's getting a little bit better each time. Stock up. Nice. Top deck. Let's just pass. It feels like the deck is getting a little bit better with each version, which is obviously a good sign. So I guess stock up means they're Eldrazi through the Breach, which is probably a really bad matchup, actually. So maybe I'm going to get a Temple so I can kick Mycospawn next turn and then get like a Woodland or a Cavern next turn. Maybe I might sack the Vexing Bauble if I really don't think they have any stuff for this. Yeah, the main deck Baubles have been really good. So again, the Carnage deck has been good. I've liked it. We've been doing well with it. It is okay. They're not through the Breach Eldrazi. So they have stock up in their deck. They have Questing Beast. So this is Gift Storm, which I think is a bad matchup. Don't really have much for it besides the discard spells. They also probably have like about infinite basic lands. Then we have the Graveyard Hate. The Questing Druid is cool. Seems like their build is maybe bad, which is it could be good for us. Sorry, Carnage deck. We have a good win rate, 60% over 3 leagues. I'm interested in playing some more. Has some problems though. Gift Storm still exists. Sometimes Storm players get bored and then they play like this kind of build, instead of a build that makes like sense. Seems like they're playing more of an aggressive version right here. But yeah, I do think that this deck only exists as much as these players get bored. I mean, I don't know any other way to explain this phenomenon. Just here for vibes and finish this league. Please go easy. Okay, make it sense to me. I'll try. If you have Graveyard Hate and Bauble, they can't win with Ral or Passive Flames. I don't know that my opponent has Ral in their deck. This is not your grandma's Storm deck. It's like Cling My Own Cling. Well, if I'm playing Swamp anyways, I might as well Cling again. Such a weird game. I do want to find an answer for this. Okay, now I drew a Mycospawn. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I could get anything. I don't know. Do I get a Ghost Quarter? They have to have more than one basic in their deck. So I'm going to get a Temple so that I can, when I Emrakul them, I can Ghost Quarter them too. I still think your Unstable Amulet Ruby Storm build is better than the more standard versions. I like the Unstable Amulet stuff. I like the DRCs more than I like the Amulets. It could be good to go back to that. There was a couple cards. So I've been off stream. I've been messing around with Ruby Storm with a more prowess slant, kind of like what our opponent's doing. But I've been trying like Slickshot Show Off, Corey Steel Cutter, Heroes Hangout, of course, DRC, in addition to like the Storm elements. And like we have had some success with that in the past. But things have changed so much. Like with Breach being banned, building the deck that way, I just don't think it's that possible. But I have been trying it. Emrakul gets cheaper. Okay, VV. Someone explained to me already why VV doesn't have flying. I can't remember why this card that looks like it has flying doesn't have flying. I guess that's, you know, I guess that's kind of normal for Magic cards, but there is like a Final Fantasy flavor reason, right? Okay, they do have Ral in their deck. Well, I can't resist the possibility of killing them with their own stuff. Although maybe I need to... Yeah, we'll be fine. But I guess I am pinging myself. I think that's okay. Let's see what these are. Smooch with 53, happy upcoming wedding. Thank you. Hopefully this Prime sub can serve as a mating wedding gift. It does. 1/5 of my in-flight Wi-Fi cost. I don't think I'm gonna. Maybe I will do in-flight Wi-Fi. But I'm probably gonna be. We're probably gonna be playing Hades too the whole time. Thank you. I'm very excited for the wedding. Thing that, if only I could combo off, but their deck doesn't work. Just kidding. Gifts ungiven. Now we're getting somewhere. So I'm at 9. Has anybody ever targeted themselves with gifts ungiven while they're Emrakuling? Yeah, you know, gifts ungiven it's more powerful when your opponent when your opponent wants to choose the best 2 cards. The problem is the grape shot's going after them. Okay, so Culling Ritual seems kind of good against them. They have like a million 2-mana creatures. Ashiok stopping gifts. You know, I usually don't like to bring in Ashiok in situations like this. I think this is going to be a notable exception. They have Remand in their deck. We can play some Veils. Don't know if we're gonna play the full 3, but let's drag them over here. Yeah, I could type fun deck over there. I think I'm interested in trimming an Emrakul. I'm interested in trimming a Kling. Vexing Bauble is good against Ral Ultimate. 3 is a lot of copies, though, for a card that we have other removal spells for. Yeah, that's right. Veil Fizzles Gift, so we'll play the full 3. It's been a while since that's come up. I'm gonna trim the Icetill or an Icetill, maybe 2. I don't imagine the Ghost Quarters are very effective against them. Rumble 4. We brought in a lot of non-creature spells. Probably Cling 2. Bauble 3. Okay, let's go. Maybe the rituals are a bit clunky. I think they're gonna be okay. That's true. They do have a lot more pressure for the Ashioks, but I think they're okay to bring in when we don't have a lot else. When Luis Salvato killed the Belcher player of Belcher. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Alright, opponent's on a mold of 6. I'm joining them. I guess I'm going to put back the Icetill. I really want this Icetill in the hand. Maybe I could put back the Forest. I could put back the Forest, Thoughtseize, get Forest. Yeah, I think that's fine. Could have done a basic check with the fetchless game. I could have, but they conceded before I cast the first shuffle. But I guess I could have like started with the Ghost Quarter. All right, let's lead on the dreams because we're most likely going to want to take an artifact or creature on turn 1. So like this might be able to get a spell. So they graveyard a Steam Vents. They play another Tarn. They play it on tap, so they've drawn a 2-mana creature. I have a soft spot for the Otter, what can I say? Well, we lose if they cast Stock Up, so you have to take it. So the hand is Pyretic Ritual, Scalding Tarn, Mystery card. Not a bad mystery card. The Culling Ritual could be good this game if we draw it. So we're going to try to save the Spawn token as our second colorless for K command, so I think we can afford to get the Forest. I guess it comes down to, are we going to Icetill next turn, or are we going to K command? I think that the Vista probably just, like the Mycospawns probably don't matter all that much, so play this. So they surveil another Ral into the yard. Their hand is just a Pyretic Ritual. I don't really know if which I want to do next turn. Like, I'm pretty desperate to get both of these off the field, but the Vexing Bauble is checking the Ral ultimate. Well, and it's like the redundancy here means that, okay, they flip the Ral. Then they kill my Spawn token. They still have the mana floating. Would they have ever... Was this really just to flip the Ral? Wow, what a gamer. So it seems like just playing the Icetill so I can go exile this next turn. Exile this next turn, and we're gonna go get Waste and fetch Swamp. I just get the Waste all the time. I don't know. Y'all are silly to some extent. But yeah, just exile the Mentor, then attack the Ral next turn should put us in good shape. Our life total is going to be down to 5. But we should be alive. Imagine Flame of Venor here. Oh, that's pretty good. Why wouldn't they have played that on their turn, though? Doesn't really make a lot of sense. So they exile another Mentor and a Manamorphose. There's no reason for the snow-covered ways. I just grabbed it. I didn't even realize. Just was a random one. Dies to break the ice anyways. Dude, that was a crazy last 2 cards for them to have, but I also don't understand why they didn't Seek the Beast on their turn. I would have every turn I played there would have started with Seek the Beast. Okay, so this Manamorphose gives them 3 mana, and then their Past in Flames from the yard cost 2. So they can go Past in Flames, and then they can Ritual Manamorphose to have exactly 5 damage. Well, that was impossible to play around, probably. Let's go to game. Let's go to game 3. We're on the play for game 3. I think I'm actually going to play one less Ritual. I don't like that Ritual doesn't kill VV, actually. Seek the Beast is until their next instep, so you usually play it on your turn on top of the cards. Well, they had a Rituals. They had plenty of mana to cast both. They could have cast both the cards. All right, let's keep this on the play. I feel like I'm going to draw Ashiok next turn and not be able to cast it into the remand. They do keep a card on top. Was maybe the Scalding Tarn. I'm going to fetch to Thin. I guess I was thinking I was like never going to K command X equals 1. Maybe I was going to. Why is there snow waste? I just grabbed a random waste. You can look at the deck and see there's no snow payoff. There's no big brain thinking here. I just grabbed the first waste I saw. I'm sorry. Okay, they have another Scalding Tarn, so I still know most of their hand here. Why do so many of your recent lists have 3 Vexing Bauble? Vexing Bauble is really good at the moment. It's not really that much more complicated. In fact, we're now just even main decking it. There's just a lot of Gorios, Neoform is scary, Subs Pact against Titan, Affinity, it's really good against Affinity. It just cycles if it's bad. It's kind of like main decking Nile Spellbomb, if you've ever seen that in these kind of decks. But instead, we're main decking the Bauble. So we know... Sorry, this is gone. But we know their hand is Manamorphose, Grapeshot, Island, Ritual, Remand. I think that they're probably just AFK. Let's save the Thoughtseize for next turn. I want to be able to get the Remand out of their hand end of turn. Interesting that they get a basic here. The mystery card is Flame of Anor, okay. Yeah, also very good against Belcher. It's like, it's good, and it's not that complicated. Huh, were they F6'd? I think I keep this. Maybe they have Gibson Gibbon. They also might only have like one more basic. So I'm kind of thinking maybe that they're going to Gifts and then we're going to go kick Mycospawn and Bojuka Bog them. So they do have the Gifts. They didn't cast it though. Yeah, I'm inclined to take the Gifts. Don't know what I'm doing besides that though. Can I? How much is Emrakul? Emrakul is going to cost 9. I have 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I kick the Mycospawn, I'm not any closer to Emrakuling. Even if I get the Temple, it's neutral. Yeah, kicking the Mycospawn's kind of good into the Remand, although they'll just draw 2 off the Flame. I kind of like holding up the K command more. I don't know, it's so tough this turn. I think I have to take the Gifts. Kicking the Mycospawn seems fine. We could maybe kick Mycospawn and then get Cavern of Souls. Or I didn't board in the Cavern, actually. Right, okay. Maybe that was a mistake. I could get Bog. Bogging the yard seems like it could be good. Although I think that if they find Passive Flames, they're going to be able to win with their hand. So probably doesn't actually matter how many basics they have. They probably have 3 basics, I would guess. I'm kind of open to just ghost quartering them here and finding out, like kicking Mycospawn and ghost quartering. Now, going for the K command though. Let's see this. So we have 6. K command could let me Emrakul next turn. I think I'm just gonna hold up the K command. Like if it resolves, we get to Emrakul and it's like pretty meaningful interaction. It could be more meaningful action than the Mycospawn. Very tough call. Gotta attack the mana. This could end up attacking, like getting rid of a mana reducing creature. Although maybe difficult through the Remand to do that. There's like a pretty high chance they just pass the turn too with the Remand up. Well, wasn't expecting that to happen. It was weirdly very, very good because now I can't draw a land to Emrakul. That's not Eldrazi Temple. Sorry, my mouse died. Is black worth it? The color in this deck? I mean, I'm 5-1 overall. I'm feeling really good about the list. Feels like a good space to be exploring. We did lose to John Saga though. All right. It's crazy how good that Flood Maul was. Why didn't we just unkick Spawn and guarantee Emrakul next turn? Maybe that was better. I wasn't playing around the Flood Maul. I was if an unkick spawn let me let me hold up K command for 2, that was better. It was definitely a difficult spot. I do think I want to go for the Icetill and hope my opponent didn't find another remand. I guess we might as well, if we're going to commit to this line, Ghost Quarter first, because it's possible they only have 2 basics anyways. So maybe they're going to crack the Islet with the floating mana. I'm going to go to my second main phase. Okay, thankfully they didn't draw another remand. 4th basic would be bad. Typically old gifts list by 3. Alright, so if they don't win this turn, they're not going to win. They Seek the Beast, I think, into a Wooded Foothills and a Seek the Beast. It's so hard to tell what's in what. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can just chill. They play the Wooded Foothills from exile. We just really don't want to see a cost reducer here. Oh no. We just needed to dodge it here. It's not that we're dead for sure though. So they have Opera Love Song, Grape Shot, Flame of Anor. They can flame the Icetill. They Seek the Beast into a VV and another Ritual. They cast the Ritual before playing the VV, which would imply that they're not going to play the VV at all. We know they have Grape Shot, Flame as 2 of their last cards. Wait, where did this Manamorphose got from? Was that from exile or was from hand? So... oh my gosh. Alright. Well, losing to Giftstorm and Jund Saga is so weird. I mean, Giftstorm is going to be a bad matchup, I think. Okay, on the play against Kihira. I think I'm going to lead on the Vexing Bauble. There's not really a lot of 1-drops you want to Thoughtseize out of the Kihira deck. Don't mind Prismatic Ending too much. Well, at risk of getting Narsetted, let's take the Consult. I think I'll Cling instead of playing the tapped Woodland this turn. Graveyard's another Solitude. Shout out Surveil Lands. Plays the Watery Grave tapped. Woodland has seemed not good in his draft. I won at least 2 games last night off stream with the Woodland. No value from... okay, although surveilling that push... or not surveilling, but getting that push of the yard is value. Verdict. Okay, then we can just Woodland our Icetill. We might be doing that this turn. Let's start off with a Rumble. Grab the Temple, and thank you, Sweet Shatters, for letting me prove you wrong. Always nice when you give me that opportunity. Main phase, Kit Consult Star Charts. And Cycle Lore and Revealed main phase, getting an archive. Sorry, we don't want to tap. I think I'm going to take the damage so that I have the outside possibility of milling over Emrakul and escaping it. Seems pretty unlikely, of course. Get rid of 3 of the 4 sorceries. Guess 1 of the 2 instants, and you're gonna get rid of the other Cling probably. All right, there's Zimmy. Would have felt Narset. Well, if they had Narset, they would have got untap land right to go Narset Days Undoing. I don't want to take a Solitude from their hand with the Dreams, since I want to evoke Solitude into the Vexing Bauble. Is 6 a consideration? I did think about 6. That card got obviously way worse when they banned the Ring. I'm not really the biggest fan over it overall. Although, what do I know? Remember, we cannot pitch the Force of Negation because it's our turn. Just casting Narset and Force of Negation the Narset seems fine. Attacking the Solitude too. Is there anything better? I think not. They did have Narset. Yeah, a little bit weird. Maybe they messed up by getting the Archive then. Maybe one of these cards. Maybe the Narset was just drawn though. Day myself. Days of Doing is a symmetrical effect. That also ends the turn. I mean, it'll be really fun to Days of Doing here. My opponent might go like plus Teferi, Days Undoing at the end of my turn. They're probably Teferi, Bounce and Roll, and Days Undoing it away. Yeah, but then I get to untap with 7 cards. I feel like taking the hit and then they're the ones that untap with the 7. To me, that seems like it's likely way better. Maybe my 7 will be garbage. Nope. Okay, I don't think I'm going to activate the Woodland this turn. Let me make sure I can cast Emrakul if I take this. So this is going to be Sorcery, Instant Land. Emrakul costs 10. That's 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. So I can cast it. Stupid Days of Doing again. So probably cast play Hallowed Fountain, cast Scepter, imprint nothing, pitch Solitude, Narset Force. Although I could also, there's no way they have 3 Days Undoing in their deck, right? Last words said by man who got 3rd Days Undoing. But it might be better for me to force the Days Undoing, because I don't want to leave them with the out of drawing the Narset. But how could they have 3? Pending Teferi? That doesn't seem like that is better than hardcasting the Force, right? Solitude can target self. There's a Vexing Bauble, so it just gets countered. Remember, we can't pitch cast the Force. Yeah, I think I'm going to force the Days, though. I cannot imprint Days, can only imprint... Not that we would necessarily want to if you could, but you can only imprint instants, mana value 2 or less. Yeah, I think there's just like no chance they have 3 Days Undoing, and if it happens, it happens. But we don't really care so much if they go like Narset into Verdict, because we just have another Emrakul in our hand. Loot good card away. But what if they draw a good card? And then also, if we activate the Gyre Reach, we can't hardcast the Force and play a 3-drop. Narset countered by Force of Negation, and Solitude pitch countered by Bauble. Is my opponent playing for me here? Okay, they find a Days Undoing. Sorry, not a Days Undoing. A Consult the Star Charts. I think I'll just Emrakul them again. Yeah, they're gonna Solitude me. Which was a new draw, so their hand is just a Consult right now. Never had an opponent just tell me what to do with Emrakul. I guess I could Could Mycospawn. I probably want to save the Mycospawn to get rid of the Hall, though. I could Mycospawn for Temple first. Alright. So let's start off by minusing the Narset. Do I want to get the Orm's Chant? I guess I could just take Counterspell and Counterspell the Consult. There's probably not like a lot I could find off the Consult that's really good. Let's go ahead and activate the Gaia Reach though. And then I get to discard this Force of Negation and the Vista. And then cast Consult. I've countered a lot of spells this game for being a Golgari player. One March, 3 more Chance, 1 Verdict, 2 Wrath, 0 Solitudes. So at the moment, if I can kill this Hall of the Storm Giants, the only way my opponent could win this game is with the Kahira, which seems pretty unlikely. So we have that going for us too. Surveil their draw. Could be okay. There's wait. Is there a Solitude? I thought there was no Solitudes left. Oh, I guess there was. So they ended up buying the Kahira, and then they find an Orm's Chant. Okay. So I can't. That's kind of interesting. So now we can discard the Icetill Explorer. Then we can Woodland the Icetill Explorer. Now I can't attack this turn, right? Yeah. So sometimes I get confused because I think like the Orm's Chant gives all creatures in play the inability to attack, but that's not actually how it works. See if we find a Ghost Quarter. Okay, there's a Ghost Quarter, not for this turn though. So if they chant me again, I can Ghost Quarter them. Although I do need to be mindful about not going to fewer cards in deck than them. So they bounced my Emrakul. So let's on F6, since I can now K command or cling. Wait, how am I down 5 minutes on the clock? Embarrassing. Yeah, that's true. We've been playing all the turns, I guess. I'm a little bit worried that our opponent is going to... I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just going to try not to waste too much more time. I'm a little bit worried, though, that my opponent is going to go bounce their Scepter and then imprint Orm's Chant. And then the Bauble doesn't actually stop that, because they do spend a mana when they kick. Although it kind of turns into an interesting sub-game if that is the case, although we just get to Emrakul again now. Again, I'm rushing because I do care about having time for games 2 and 3. This is gonna be kind of a long match. Not too often you triple Emrakul game 1 and the game's still going. We can still I select them through Scepter Champ, but then we're gonna deck ourselves. I don't care if they get a basic here. I'm just trying to speed things up. They have the last Solitude. So... I'm going to make spawns because of cards in deck. But I'm just going to exile this. This is like the worst and best cake command. Their only win condition now is either decking me or the Kihiro's in the yard. So they have no win condition. So if I could just make them draw 2 cards here, we win. So let's go ahead and I guess I don't even really care about the Field of Ruin. Because I believe this game is now just over. If I just get this planes. Yeah, it is now impossible for them to win the game. Unclear if they know that. I'm going to do the rare remove all stops. So I could recuperate some of the clock. But it said, don't you play Saga? Nope. I will not be baited into using more clock. Why not attack? It takes too much clock. Oh, no, the discarding takes too much clock, too. I don't understand. So my opponent has no win conditions in their deck. They have fewer cards in library than me. So I'm worried about the time on my clock. So the thing is, their deck still has a lot of removal in it, right? So actually reducing my opponent's life total from 20 to 0 is going to take more time than just letting them deck. Is playing lands faster than discarding? It's not, because I don't have any stops set. Trying to discard cards they've already know about. No, my opponent knows they can't win. That's also why they're not doing anything. They're not plussing to Fairy. They know what's up. They're just trying to also burn my clock. Definitely don't want to discard the Emrakul. Show them that I have 3. They might think I only have 2. Been watching your stream for 3+ years. Don't think I've ever seen this before. I don't think I've ever done this before. So I don't know how this is in my toolbox, but it is. I don't know how. I don't know if I have done this before. Yeah, I'll reapply the stops. It's also weird that they pivoted into the no stop plan. I've never seen this with 13 months of clock. It's just like a long matchup, you know. Like if we go to game 3, we get really paid off for this, and if we don't, it was all kind of silly. Yeah, since they're ahead on clock, like it makes sense for them to do this. Okay, well we win game 1, I think that was the faster way to win. So we're gonna bring in the Cavern over the Bog. We're gonna bring in the Veil of Summers. We're gonna cut the Thoughtseizes and the Deluges, which I think leaves us with also just YOLOing the 2 Ashioks, or I guess maybe 4th Vexing Bauble, first 1 Ashiok's better. Yeah, it's fun. Oh yeah, my precious instep stop. Did I mean to cut Thoughtseizes? No, I meant to cut Fatal Pushes, which I did. So I'm actually going to lead on the Vexing Bauble. I would be very happy if they can sign this. They led on the island. Snap taking the Narset. Their mana really costing them not having the counterspell up this turn. Might have even been just like game winning for them to have the counterspell up here. I'm going to get the Shifting Woodland. I think that's going to go best with the Rumble. They top deck a Consign. So I get punished for not going Cavern on Eldrazi first. So we'll get a waste so we can cast K Command. Get ready to Rumble. Probably should have sacked a Vexing Bauble end of turn. Happy enough that that got countered, I guess. Interesting. So we know they still have Solitude. They have Solitude, Wrath, Days Undoing as the 3 exact cards. So if we cast this Icetill, it does get hardcast Solituded. Is that okay? It's not great. I think we'll just go in and take the 2-for-1. Oh, I guess I should have played a Llanowar Waste first. Game 3? This would be the most aggressive Game 3 in history. We're ahead, I think. Maybe not. Maybe they cast the Days Undoing. But their hand is literally Days Undoing Wrath the Sky's mystery card right now. I milled over a Cling to Dust, which is great. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop a Bauble, leave green up in case we draw Icetill. Okay, now we'll go to game 3. Just kidding. I'm gonna go Cling to Dust end of turn. Or I guess I'll do it. I'll block and then Cling to Dust. Like you know, we'll be fine even if we have like 8 minutes on the clock for game 3. We just needed to make sure we had enough time earlier. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I should have left the Vexing Bauble. Maybe playing a little too fast. So the hand is Kihira, Solitude. So Kihira, Wrath the Sky's mystery card, mystery card. Lead on the Thoughtseize. They probably have a counter spell of some kind. Yep. So let's take that and then Cavern on Eldrazi. Kick Mycospawn. Get the Woodland, I think. Exile the Hinge over the Reach. Trade here. Gonna sack the Bauble end of turn, I think. Unless they Days Undoing me. No, they main phase kick a Consult. My headphones died, so I think my mouse hopefully has enough charge for the rest of the stream. So the hand is Wrath, Days Undoing, 2 mystery cards. Or, sorry, I think they have the ending still. I'm definitely playing too fast. Okay, but there's an Icetill. So let's go ahead and play a Ghost Quarter here first. Oh, I guess we go Ghost Quarter, use the Ghost Quarter, then play the Icetill. That way if they have a Solitude, we still get to Ghost Quarter them twice. I'm going to try to take them off double white. They could have a third basic Plains, not unheard of, but they don't. In fact, they have no more basics. Ever lost a time on stream? I believe it's happened 3 times. Once it was went in for top 8 of a challenge. Okay, so they Solitude pitch the Pending. If they Days Undoing, we're gonna Cling to Dust, getting rid of some of the air from the deck. Instead, they Narset. Although, and they can block the Mycospawn with the Vigilant Kihira. They find Lore and Revealed, and that we know they have the Days Undoing, so we need to find something off the Cling or a draw step. Brutal draw top deck Narset. We get rid of 2 of the Vexing Baubles, the Vista, the Thoughtseize, and the Spawn. Draw another land. Cannot cycle the Vexing Bauble. I think I'm playing it out. Could still like cast Emrakul. I should have been targeting like the consigns probably firmly in the packet up territory. I mean, like we get to draw 2 cards. If they're both good, we can keep playing. Probably should have played the Ghost Quarter though. Yeah, I think we should have played the Ghost Quarter. All right, game 2. And I got 9 minutes 30 seconds for game 3. Yeah, I just do think of these spots you just want to see. You want to see what the 2 draws are. Yeah, 9.5 minutes is plenty of time, but like I'm you know, it could be pretty easily 6 minutes on the clock if we had not done the weird taking off the stops game 1. I like Ouphes over Ashiok and a Vexing Bauble, not because they stop Scepter, because they pressure Planeswalkers. I'm just not going to play a 2-mana 2/2 that like even negatively affects me because of my Vexing Baubles. Like 2-mana 2/2 with downside, I'm just not interested. I get that the Planeswalkers are annoying. It's awful against Teferi too. I can keep this. Gonna get the waste again. Probably. Could draw, unless we draw like a Ghost Quarter or a Temple. Okay, that's true. They do have a Scepter, so it's, you know, some upside too. -1 Emrakul's tough, although having 1 in the graveyard makes Woodland nice. Especially if we can get Vexing Bauble to protect the Woodland Emrakul from Solitude. They pending a token. Probably going to main phase K command X equals 3 here. Oh, well. Never mind. I think we'll just do it on their end step then. Kind of a freebie. Although it gives them the opportunity to like 2-for-1 the K command, trading this and a counterspell for it, but that's okay, I think. X equals 3. I think I'm going to keep the swamp here. Now, I guess playing around Consign isn't particularly realistic, since my opponent very likely would have just consigned my K command, so I'm going to slam this. And if they big brain me, they big brain me. Yeah, big brain me. Kihira into the hand. I mean, that's a good sign. So before they could counterspell this K command, I don't really care if they counterspell the Ashiok so much. I'm going to get another one of these out there. Let's keep the Thoughtseize and Mr. Spawn, and then the Spawn can get a Shifting Woodland. Yeah, this is game 3. Untapped Grave. Worst neighbor with the 42 months. Hope your wedding is the best start to your marriage. Yeah, I'm very excited. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a great time. So they wrath my tokens. Their hand is Kihira mystery card. I don't have enough green. I should have cast that. maybe not. But I don't have enough green to hit them with the Emrakul this turn. That's okay. Any streamers coming? Dingo's coming. Doomwake's coming. Honorog's coming. Jesse couldn't make it. Jarvis couldn't make it. Reduke is officiating. I guess we block since they're going to block that on defense. Nassif is giving me away. Oh yeah, Moz. I guess I just don't really think of a Moz as a streamer. Because we don't really do streamer things together. We just hang out. All right. Well away from the 4th ever Aspiring Spike timeout. GG. Never did draw one of those Urza Sagas, huh? They did have the Solitude to survive. They're not conceding. Okay, well, we'll reduke them. Okay, so we are 6-2 overall with this deck. We've beaten Prowess, Boros, Goryo's, Affinity Control, 5-0 against those. We lost to Giftstorm and Jund Saga, so the metagame part of the stream title, definitely not clickbait. Did people have Icetill on their radar for Modern was first shown? I did. That's why you watch these YouTube videos. Okay, so we're on a mold of 5. Let me put back Bog Ghost Quarter. And hope to draw 2 green sources, I guess. Tough mold of 5. Yeah, this is good against 2025 Modern. Apparently awful against 2015 Modern. So we're up against Mill. I guess I'm going to take the Fractured Sanity and push the Crab. They have double push for my Icetill, but maybe they won't have Revolt. I guess they will have Revolt because of a Boro. Okay, so Archive Trap offline. Mill probably bad matchup. We have it's definitely gonna be kind of weird. There's a good chance we're gonna need to cycle the Vexing Bauble. So Emrakul and the Woodlands in the yard. So if I can go Icetill, get back the Woodland, that can be a good plan to win this game. Yeah, I think if like hitting Rumble is it's just so important that I crack this. I'm gonna crack it, and then we'll probably crack again end of turn. Any untapped land lets me Icetill because I can Ghost Quarter myself. So them playing this instead of the swamp means they can't Fatal Push my Icetill this turn by picking up the Aboro, but they can pick it up next turn. So their hand is push, swamp, 3 mystery cards. They say no to a Glimpse, which is interesting. That's an interesting one also. I guess it's not that interesting, since I kind of need to play the Woodland this turn. I'm not, because since they have 2 Thoughtseizes, or there's 2 Fatal Pushes, the Thoughtseize doesn't really do enough. We obviously need to avoid them finding Surgical. We need to find another land to activate the Woodland. They have fetch land for Fatal Push, so they don't need to pick up the Aboro. Do we choose a special theme for the wedding? Not really. Pretty normal stuff. Alright, so I guess I'll seize first, because if they have a drown, they should drown the Rumble. Their hand is 1 Fatal Push, 1 Swamp, and 1 Mystery card. They have Otawara, which can bounce my Woodland for a turn. I guess you also need to dodge Field of Ruin. A little bit odd that they wouldn't kind of go for it there. I guess we'll take the Bog over Ghost Quarter. So I need to dodge field, surgical. The thing is, they also, again, they get to Otawara to like gain 13 life here and consume my land drop, I guess. And so they cycle a Fractured Sanity. So no Otawara this turn. They can Otawara next turn. They have a crab. Swamp. I'm down to 33 cards in my deck. They also milled a Cling for me just now. I think we're just in. We know our opponent's hand is Otawara, Fatal Push. This is a 2-turn clock after they, you know, it is also assuming like if they draw something like Tasha's next turn, they can't cast it because they have to hold up the Otawara. So it's going to be pretty tough for them to get the 32 cards from me while also Otawaring the Emrakul. They pick up the Aboro here. So they mill me for 6. They're going to mill me for another 6 next turn, which is going to put me down to 22 cards in deck. And I don't, it's going to be very tough for them to get me without, they just really need to draw field or surgical, right? So I don't want to play the temple because I need to replay the woodland, of course. And it says GG, which that does not mean that we have won this game. I think mill players are a little bit more likely than the average MTGO user to go, good game. Mill you. Mill, I love mill players. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the Vexing Bauble. I don't think I care that much about the Bog. I think I'll play a Cavern over the Bog. And then we could maybe even go up to like 20 or 65 in this deck. We have 26 lands. 26 lands. I don't think I care that much about Culling Ritual. Rumble is pretty bad. Could go down to Rumble. Alright, let's go down to Rumble. Let's play 64. Playing with my new mic bar. No more squeaking. Is Cling good? Cling at least cycles. It also can counter surgical. So pretty interested in going Forest Vexing Bauble so I don't get got by Archive Trap this game. Or Bauble, Holy Pog. Yeah, I'm main decking 3 of them. It just like helps so much. Like main deck Vexing Bauble has felt so good. Interesting. A little bit worried about a second crab. Looks like maybe a surgical on Icetill or Temple here. Extirpate Icetill. Interesting that they... Why did mill players stop draw stepping? Extirpate. Can't respond to it. Like, draw step surgical sometimes makes a little bit more sense. Or like, you know, not draw stepping the surgical sometimes makes more sense, but I don't know why they just stopped. People are starting to play like 4 Vexing Bauble and Brood Skull. That's a lot. I think I was playing 2. This is Magic the Gathering right here. What would be my choice of deck for Modern 2015? No Eldrazi Win. I had just finished building Twin right before Splendor Twin was banned in Eldrazi Winter. I played Grixis Twin with Tasigur, gained Kolagon's command. It was beautiful. I guess I'm taking the Fractured Sanity. A little bit more. I just grab Emrakul if I mill it. Okay. Take the Ghost Quarter. I guess, yeah, our Icetill has been surgical, so we don't care about double green really anymore. Any thoughts updating Seismic Assault for last year with Icetill? I don't think Icetill makes that much sense in that deck. Like, I know it's like kind of lands matter, and it's a deck people really liked. Okay, we thankfully did not mill an Emrakul. Although, Shadow of the Goblin's cool. I just think it's not really this kind of format, you know what I mean? I don't know. This looks pretty cool. Maybe I'm wrong. Love to be wrong. So in a surgical mystery card, are they surgicaling my Mycospawn? They are. They know I have one in my hand. I have 5 types in my yard. I could get a 6 type by cracking the bauble for the Emrakul to cost 7. Doing well, Zathis. How are you doing? So they got 1 mystery card in their hand. Let's go ahead and crack this bauble now. Yeah, this is one of the few cards that rewards us. Then we need to take Emrakul so that they can't surgical my Emrakul. And then we have 22 cards in our deck. They have 2 random cards in their hand. I feel like I'm about to get a spawn token fatal pushed. Oh, I don't have to adjust. I don't have to adjust the armbar, just to adjust the desk more. Have I thought about weapons manufacturing with either Metalwork Colossus or Salvage Titan? I think it's not really that exciting with Metalwork Colossus, at least. What is this? Surgical my K command so that my Emrakul cost 1 more mana. Nice. I think it's not that interesting with Colossus. Like, Colossus requires you to have so much mana value of non-creature artifacts in play, and then manufacturing wants you to play a lot of like 0 mana artifacts, so it's not very easy to overlap those two. Okay, wait, the Emrakul costs 9 now? Do the last one. I guess I have no creatures anymore, so this costs 6, 7, 6, 7. I guess we cling to dust, looking for like a push or a Thoughtseize, although looks like we have very few of those left. We have 1 of each left. There's nothing to explain with the 6/7. It's literally, I think the meme is just that old people don't know what the meme is. All right, so this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7. I do need another land. I guess I'll cycle the Vexing Bauble. Very odd game with just all 3 Emrakuls sitting in hand. Okay, so I can Emrakul next turn. I don't need to draw anymore. They're going to put me down to at least 11 cards in deck. I don't know if this Emrakul is going to be enough. With Metalwork, you could hold priority and sack and deal all the tokens. Yeah, I know that that's the idea, but like, sometimes I feel like part of this should go without saying that it isn't that exciting to have Metalwork Colossus be your winning condition if you have a lot of metal or weapons tokens in play, because like the hurdle to winning the game when you have a bunch of weapons tokens in play is not, do I have a big goofy sack outlet like Salvage Titan or Metalwork Colossus? Like, it's just really easy to play explosives, and explosives is also better because it's a 0 mana artifact for all your other stuff. It's like, sometimes I feel like this stuff should go without saying that you don't care that much about that. So my opponent has another surgical, but I think because I drew Temple, they can't like surgical my Vexing Baubles. I guess I need to on F6 though, because I probably would cling in response. Yeah, I've seen Doomwake do the Salvage Titan munition stuff. I'm not really a believer, but I think that could have some more promise. since they do synergize a bit better with overstuff. The problem is like the 6/4 body's not very good right now, probably. Interesting draw. They definitely have another surgical. Is the male balls jersey number 6/7? Could have been Otawara Pause. Yeah, maybe. Could be Otawara. Okay, it's Extirpate on my Cling to Dusts. Okay. So do I want to hold up Veil of Summer post Emrakul? Because I think I have 1 mana up. I could hold up the Veil of Summer so that I can beat a top deck Glimpse. Or I could Ghost Quarter them, but keeping them off 4 mana doesn't seem to matter very much, so seems like we're going to hold up the Veil. Thankfully the Crab doesn't have Defender. Funny enough, Defender would be a pretty big upside in this spot. Have we made any Rottenmouth Viper weapons manufacturing decks? Yeah, we did that pretty early into the set release, and then didn't circle back. I've been pretty open to circling back for a while, but have not got around to it. So we'll play the Isle so we can... Although I guess we could have just Ghost Quartered the Isle next turn. Can't you just clean with the target? Extirpate has is split second, so you can't respond. But they also, yeah. I typed that out before. Remember what split second does. Great. Okay, so they play the Flooded Strand. Wait, do you have to choose a card? Seems like you do. Doesn't play the Isle let them hardcast Archive Trap? We have Veil of Summer in our hand. Alright, so they got them down to 4. Seems like we can play another Emrakul. Obviously, this could just end up backfiring if the next card they drew is bad, but the card after that is good. Although I might be able to surveil a bad card to the top of their library. I guess if they surveil Tasha's to the top, like there's not really anything I can do about it. They do keep a card on top. It's an Archive Trap. So it seems like we want to make them commit the mana to that next turn. So we would have lost. I guess we would have just veiled, actually. We would have won for sure if we had not cast the Emrakul. Now we're just almost definitely going to win. Shout out Mental Misstep. All right, so we 4-1 the first league. Our losses today have been to Jund Saga and Gift Storm. I beat Prowess, Gorios, and Boros off stream. And on stream today we beat Affinity Control, Mill, and Affinity Control, Mill, and what was it? There was the other deck was at least somewhat meta, not the Affinity. I feel like every time I play against Mill lately, I'm like, oh, no, not Mill, and I just beat it really easy. Yeah, we lost to Jund Saga, and we lost to Gift Storm, and then we won our other 7 matches, and they were all meta decks. But I don't know how meta you want to count Mill. Boy, Felliot or 5 color. What's 5 color? Marco Sharko. Guess I'm gonna push that. Is Unholy Heat the best answer in red green to Riddler? I might even say it's the only answer. I guess there's like plummet type effects. Never mull. 26 months. Hoping not to mull this match. Pick your poison, maybe. Well, at the very least, like heat being instant, that does seem to matter a lot. I wonder if they're playing VV Cauldron somehow. It's probably just normal stuff, though. So they discard a Root Wall, they discard a Phoenix. So kind of interested in exiling the Phoenix, but they can't currently bestow it. Although it seems like they have a Street Wraith the way they're pausing. I think I just need to scry draw because we don't currently have a play for next turn. The Vexing Bauble is interesting. Stops 0 mana hollow 1. Stops another Madness Rootwalla. If I cycle it, it gets it discounts the Emrakul. I think we can keep it. Okay. Has there ever been a fight effect to see Modern play? Why do they insist on printing so many? Because they're good and limited. Right. I have revisited the crime novelist stuff. I have revisited it. I haven't really figured out anything good, but I have messed with it some. They discard a hollow one, which is actually kind of bad for us because we have the Vexing Bauble. Maybe they're just going to bestow this Phoenix. So I could go Ghost Quarter myself, play an Icetill this turn. If I K command, I'm going to make 3 spawns, and then I'll have 5, 6 plus 3. I'll have 9, so I can just Emrakul next turn. So that's probably the play. Crab Novelist Manufacturing, figure it out. I've tried. I might be able to figure it out one day. Easier said than done. So are they going to escape the Ox and then trigger the Vengevine? Oh, they don't have the second creature spell cast. So they might Madness or Rootwalla anyways to trigger the Vengevines despite there being a Vexing Bauble in play. Vexing Bauble good against every deck, I guess. So we'll exile the Vengevines and we'll make 3 spawns. Love how the K command is up to X cards. You can do this, not have to exile anything from your own yard. Somehow the card gets a little bit better each day. I love how with K command they made sure that the card was never bad on any turn in any situation. That was really nice for K command to have kind of no weaknesses and is good on every single turn. Why don't they make other cards like that? Alright, so this Thoughtseize is free to play because it discounts the Emrakul. I think we'll cast it. Yeah, just good in every matchup and good against every deck. Why aren't more decks like that? Or more cards like that? I'm going to cast the Looting. See how much we can mess them up with this. I guess we go discard Inquiry, discard Looting. Play Arena, exert Arena. Flashback, the Looting. And then we'll leave them with just the Vengevine in hand. Looting in the yard. Let's go ahead and kill the Ox of Agona so they only have 1 flying attacker next turn. Oh, although, I don't know, leaving them with the Oxes maybe. That's probably fine. Their hand is just a Vengevine. Well, I guess they could, if they just draw a fetch, it's not so fine. Alright, we'll attack with the Rootwalla. If they want a second main phase Ox next turn, we can be okay with that. They also might not have any more basics, or they might have like 3 more basics. Maybe hard to tell. They top deck a Goblin Lord, they discard the Vengevine. Pretty good draw for them. Interesting. I think I'm gonna just block the Ox. They've got 2 cards in their hand, so if they want to discard both of them to the Ox this turn and not Arena of Glory the Ox next turn, I think that'll be good. And then they would have to have like a Root Walla in their hand to for sure get the Vengevine back. Is this my last stream before the wedding? No, we have tomorrow, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, probably next Friday. And then I think I might stream the day after the wedding, and I might not. It just depends. But many more streams. Wedding is next Sunday. They do escape the Ox. Is their last card another Root Wall? It's not. It's a Marco Sharko. So if they drew a hollow one, they can cast it for 0 to get the Vengevine back, but it gets countered by the Bauble, but they did not draw one. Ghost Quartered ourselves a lot today. I'm going to Ghost Quarter their Arena of Glory. We milled a Woodland, which is pretty interesting. We do still have another land drop we could play. I guess I can't activate the Woodland, so I probably don't need to worry too much about it. Let's see if they have any more basics. They don't have any basics. Now, one thing we might want to do is we might want to play the Woodland anyways, so that we could chump block the Ox or a Vengevine with the Icetill, and then Woodland the Icetill next turn. Yeah, I don't think there's a I mean, we might be able to stop them from hard casting a Vengevine is kind of the big thing with Ghost Quartering them. Alright, I think I'm going to Ghost Quarter them again. Let me know what you would have done. I don't think we have an attack with the Emrakul either. We'll be doing an avatar through the lens of Video Bef. Oops, never mind. Okay, I will be doing an avatar card video, but it might be cutting it kind of close, but I should have time post honeymoon. That's right. I should never ask chat about the Ghost Quarter line or not, because the chat just always wants to see the Ghost Quarter. So do they have another Stomping Ground to cast a Vengevine? Vengevine would be... Is it lethal? I think it's lethal. It's 2 Vengevines. Maybe it's not quite. Flashes back a Looting. We're going to go block here, block a Vengevine. They discard a Root Walla, which gets Vexing Baubled, but gets back a Vengevine. Gets back 2 Vengevines. I missed that they discarded 1. Although the thing is, they've gone down to 11 because they fetched Shocked and played the Wraith. So don't they just get to go block here, take 6? So yeah, they're just dead, probably, unless their last card is relevant. Like a Phoenix. Or they have 2 cards, so one of those 2 cards. First they would have done the Woodlands, cool. So they cycle another Wraith, realizing that they gotta win this turn. They draw a Flameblade Adept, which doesn't seem to do much. So I think we win. Very, very tight game, though. I guess we might as well not sack the Vexing Bauble. And we're up this is a very cool game. Been a very fun stream today. We're going to keep it in the Bog. I tend to like Force of Vigor somewhat against them. Vexing Bauble, it's okay. It just stops Root Wall and Hollow One. Doesn't stop anything else, right? I think that's about enough. We're going to keep in the Clings. We're going to keep in the Dreams. They're going to go down an Emrakul, down an Icetill, up 3 Force of Vigors. I guess green card count, maybe a little low. It's probably okay. Don't usually mind cheating a little bit on the green card count anyways. So the Emrakul has Trample, so since they were at 11, blocking the Emrakul wouldn't have mattered. Sometime between Zendikar and Innistrad, Emrakul gained the skill Trample. Yeah, I think Ashiok's too slow. Typically, if like my deck is if my deck is worse at putting creatures into play, cheap creatures into play than my opponent's deck, I don't like to bring an Ashiok ever. You can keep this on the draw. I don't usually mind cheating a little bit. On green card count for Force of Vigor, no! Don't clip it. Opponent's on a multi 6 on the play. Gaining Trample but losing Annihilate 6 is wild. I think Trample was better than Annihilate 6 in that spot, right? Not sure how many permanents they had. Has the format slowed down a bunch? Why you've been so high on Emrakul lately? I wouldn't say it's slowed down a bunch necessarily. I would say that I'm so high on Emrakul because maybe it has. I don't know. There are still a lot of fast decks, but this deck is also playing a lot of cheap interaction, right? So our deck is playing. Okay, we'll Fatal Push before they can bestow a Phoenix, but they can't quite do that yet. We're playing a lot of cheap interaction. So okay, so we can respond to the triggers before we Fatal Push. We're to slow the game down. So we're playing Cling, we're playing Bauble, we're playing K Command, we're playing Thoughtseize, we're playing Fatal Push, we're playing the other Thoughtseize whose name I can never remember. So they do discard the Phoenix. They haven't played a creature yet, so I'm gonna go push this. So they don't just go land bestow. Anyways, and so like our quantity of cheap interaction lets us compete against the faster decks, although we are, I think, particularly weak to Storm, as we did lose to earlier today. Let's hold up the Cling for the Vengevine. It makes us weak to like some of the combo that's not weak to Vexing Bauble, and but then against like the Gorios and the Boroses and the Control, which are popular, the Blinks, which are popular, our plan is really, really good too. So this formula is very similar to the Brood Scale build that we got 10th place in last Friday's challenge with, where you have this cheap combo to compete with the fast decks, and then you have the top end to compete with the slow decks, but we just have cheap interaction to complement the plan instead of the Brood Scale plan instead, which I've been liking a lot. I've been liking this a lot. I think I like this better than the Brood Scale build. Ashiok, yeah, Ashiok's pretty good in the Sam combo. I could see that. They scored a Hollow One and a Stomping Ground. Maybe I think I'm actually care more about Phoenix than Vengevine here. Kind of narrow. Hoping to rumble into another black source anyways. Or a Temple would be good too now. Okay, maybe a little awkward. Should be okay because we can at least cast the Mycospawn next turn for color fixing. What's the plan versus Titan? Well, we got Force of Vigor, Thoughtseize, Ashiok, Icetill Ghost Quarter, one Torpor Orb, then the Emrakul plan eventually. Which so we probably have no chance. I'm not even being particularly sarcastic here. It's just you can kind of have all the good cards in your colors of the format against them, and still feel like you have no chance. The Cling to Dust sometimes can help. So the Graveyard Hate can help against some of their plans. Okay, I wasn't expecting to have two Force of Vigors in here. Maybe I'll get to force something or another. Okay, maybe they're gonna leave. Okay, weird. They have a Charmaw in the yard. Seems like nothing for value. Thankfully, they do get to Rootwalla. I can't cast any of my cards anymore, so I can Cling to Dust next turn. I guess I can cast the Force, but there's no targets, so I can't cast it. Moon and Force of Vigor are the only ways to consistently be Titan. I mean, subtlety is like the best way. I think I'm going to cycle the Bauble, look for a colorless source. It's maybe a little weird to do this main phase, get rewarded. Hollow One being a deck in 2020 is so crazy. I mean, it just has like looting got unbanned, got a lot of new tools, although they're playing kind of an older version. Also, the other way to be Titan, of course, is always to just play a build that's faster. Okay, let me go ahead and not let them bestow this Phoenix. I'm just going to exile the Flame Blade, and I'm going to exile the I guess I'll exile the looting too. It does come at the cost of the spawn token. Good thing this K command does everything on all turns at instant speed, so you don't have to even commit to a play. Yeah, they ended looting like a year ago. Mox Opal 2, Green Sun 2, Splinter Twin 2. It's kind of the best day of my life until next Sunday. Alright, so I'm going to hold up the Cling. A little bit punished for exiling the looting, but hard to play around top decking Bojuka Bog. They have a Vengevine. Pretty good last card for them to have. So I'm going to hit for 5 down to 10. And then we get to escape a Cling to Dust on probably their Scalding Tarn. So we have 1, 2, 3 sorceries. This is a redundant instant. Redundant K command, I guess. Redundant Fatal Push. So all the same types for Emrakul. Now I've got a good blocker for the Vengevine, or for the Root Walla. Can I go Icetill plus scale? No, I can't, but I can go Icetill Deluge X equals 3. Last Cling to the Mill. They've got no cards in their hand. Pretty difficult for them to cast Vengevine starting with no cards in their hand. They need to go like Burning or like Goblin Lord, discard Root Walla. Inquiry, discard 2 Root Wallas. They do go Inquiry, discard a Root Walla, but not 2. I have a Force of Vigor. I've got a Rumble. I've got the Cling now up for the Vengevine. I've got this to block here, so we should be in pretty good shape. Let's see if we find an Emrakul. We don't find an Emrakul. We do find a Ghost Quarter. We know they have 3 basics. Although I guess we don't need to take the Ghost Quarter since we can just play it from the yard. So let's at least Ghost Quarter the Arena and a Commercial District. And then we can decide if we'd rather hold up the Cling or if we'd rather go kick Mycospawn, Ghost Quarter them. I think I'd rather go kick Mycospawn, Ghost Quarter them, because then that's going to double Stone Rain them down to 2 mana, and even if they do get the Vengevine back, it doesn't really matter because we've got the 3/3 blocker. And of course, the most important, this is what the chat wants. I was done to 1 land. So, you know, we'll see if they go Burning, Inquiry, discard 3 Root Wallas with only, I think, 1 Root Walla left in the deck. It looks like they have 2. If they have a Phoenix, we have a Force of Vigor. We can also Ghost Quarter our own Bog and Bog them. Okay, so we have back-to-back 4-1 with this deck. Liking it a lot. Liking it a lot. I think an extra hour is not... I would have liked to play a 3rd league, but I think I'm pretty happy with back-to-back 4-1s. But I think a 3rd league with this deck is not in the cards because it just these games go so long. And the games with the next deck... Okay, so this is the last time I'm going to play Relic of Legends Humans unless this goes super duper well. It's been going well off stream.